My name's Ryan Clift. I'm the chef owner of Tippling Club in Singapore, and I'm here today in my new restaurant, The Cave, by Chef Ryan Clift, at the Edge here in Uluwatu, Bali.
Can you tell us how you got to help create the Cave by Chef Ryan Clift restaurant?
I suppose I was fortunate enough to meet my wife about 8 years ago in Singapore, and it turns out she was living in Bali at the time. So I started coming to Bali really full time about 8 years ago. Sort of every couple of weeks, I'd pop over for the weekend and so on and so forth. And I got to meet lots of interesting people, a lot of her friends who are, do a lot of interesting and amazing things here in Bali. Some of them restaurateurs, some of them jewelry manufacturers, but one of them was a lady called Caroline Usher. And Caroline Usher is a designer of many amazing restaurants in Southeast Asia, the world, especially Bali. She's created some amazing fitted out restaurants, and she's got a really good eye for the finer details. She was approached by the owner of The Edge, or the team from The Edge, because they discovered a cave on the property that they didn't know they had, which is unique in itself. And they said, we want to do something in here. What should we do? Caroline said, I think I've got the guy that you need to meet. I think the owner came to meet me in Singapore, and he ate at my famous restaurant, Tippling Club. And we hit it off, and he likes my food. And then we concocted this crazy idea to put a restaurant 30 meters underground in a subterranean living cave.
Tell us more about the restaurant.
To our knowledge, it's the only one of its kind in the world. I believe we did the research, there are other restaurants in caves, but it's just tables and chairs, and they're served by waiters into the cave. We're the only one with a fully functioning kitchen, fully functioning bar. And now I'm very fortunate that my head chef here, Chef Chante, he's been with me now for about 6 years. He was my number 3 at Tippling Club in Singapore. So he knows how I work, he knows my style, he knows exactly what I want, when I want it. And he's probably one of the most hardworking young chefs I've met in many, many years. Very humble, very grounded. He speaks Bahasa, which is really helpful because I don't. And he's been responsible for putting the team together. And he's found some really promising young talent that we have. We have quite a large team.
How would you describe the menu to those who haven't been to the restaurant?
So how would I describe the food menu? Look, I suppose it stems from Tippling Club, really. I have a style of food that is mine. It's unique to me. You won't see my dishes on any other menu in anybody's restaurant. I have my own style, my own way of doing things, and I am purely driven by produce, smell, taste, texture, and temperature. These are the factors I play into my food. I draw inspiration from all over the world, not just French style, it's not just Japanese or Asian or Thai or a bit of modern British. I've got a fusion of everything. I've worked in all these different countries in my career, and I've learned all different styles of cooking. My cooking, I would say, is modern or modernist. So it's a lot of interesting techniques that we apply to the food. Some take days, some take weeks. But at the end result, what is in front of you is tasty, visually stunning, best produce I can find food. So I just class myself as modern gastronomy.
As an internationally known chef, what do you think is the biggest misconception about you?
I don't know if there's any misconceptions about me out there in the world, because if they've printed it, it's probably true. I've got nothing to hide. I don't keep my mouth shut when I don't want to. You know, I speak my words. I speak my mind when I feel like it. And if something annoys me, I'll be very vocal about it. There's a lot of things in this industry that are a bit, up against us, and it frustrates me, not just for me, but for the younger chefs, for there's these big awards going around, and some of them, they're just coerced, and I just disagree with them, and the amount of pressure people put on those things is pointless. But, you know, I don't think there's any misconception about who I am or what I am, because I say it out straight, simple as that.
What advice would you give to anyone who wants to get into the F&B industry?
Go for it. You will never be out of work if you're a chef or a front of house, you know, and also front of house, it's a profession. It's not something you do to make money when you're in school. Like some kids do that, fine, you've got to support yourself. But being a professional waiter, a professional bartender, a professional sommelier, professional chef, it's a profession. It's not a part-time job, right? But it's hard. It's long hours, the pay's crap at the start, but you make an amazing array of friends. You create an amazing social network. You can work in any country in the world, as long as they get you a visa, obviously. But you will never be out of work. And every day is different. Nothing is ever the same. Today, tomatoes are like this, tomorrow the tomatoes are like that. Today, I can't get tomatoes, you've got to replace it. You're constantly using your brain, constantly adapting, overcoming. You learn how to solve problems in a split second. It creates better people, I think, you know, and there's artistry behind it. If you're uber creative, you can put that onto a plate. You create your own style. The world's your oyster. There's no limits in cooking. It's only your imagination that limits you. And this is something that I find is why I still get up and do 18 hours a day, 17 hours a day. It's because of that. It's every day's different. I think it's one of the best jobs in the world.